Hello everyone and welcome to the 10th point Canadian Highlander weekly tournaments. This is season 5, week 5, and today in the booth with me, ready to go, and I must thank him for this, it was kind of a last minute thing. We have Luca
Yeah.
and
Good to be
also,
here.
nice to have you. And also ready to go, we have 8 entire players that are gonna face themselves into the gauntlet today. We had like higher sign-up numbers, but then I had to pull Luke out of the tournament in order to be in the booth because I forgot to arrange a booth. And then we had a
I
couple
must
no
say, we
shows, and
have
then
a
well, here we are. Either way,
fantastic.
it's still a good number. So let's be on that plan. I am ready to post the round. I'm getting some errors from. I'm getting a bunch of dropped frames from. Oh, Nicky's here. Hi, Nicky.
Oh, you made it.
Sorry. Okay, we have 9 players then because we had somebody that was just a little late. So yeah, that's good. Let's see how that goes by. Anyway, so now that we have done that part, we have. I'm about to post the matchups in the. Oh boy, are we trying to? Fuck it, we're doing it live. Yeah, somebody to get par so that we can get 9, we get 10. Um,
Uh,
it's fine. While we figure out
it's
if
fun.
Para is a real person that exists, yeah, this is peak 10th point. It's fine though. The tech is working today, which is more than I can ask of anything that has happened in the last week. So, what is the 10th point? What is Canadian Highlander? What is the 10th point? Let's go there.
So, 10th point is like, as always, is the Canadian Highlander weekly tournament for people who want to play on a schedule. We have
Yeah, we have the league
league
thing going on, but that's
for
more for
for
like
people doing it on their own time. But if you want to be more official, more once a week, we have 10th point, and of course Canadian Highlander, our favorite format, is 100 player legacy. Is that right?
what? Sorry.
100. Well, fuck, that's not right. 100 card, 100 card legacy legal points list.
Vintage legal.
Singleton.
That's the. I
Vintage?
understand what your confusion was now. Yeah, sorry, I wasn't paying attention because I was setting things up.
I am missing. Okay, I
Yeah, no,
am
it's
messing up
vintage.
on play. 100 card singleton vintage legal with a points list. So cube constructed essentially. You have points for the most powerful cards, so you don't have all of them. Kind of like if you were drafting a cube, you don't get past all the power 9. And so the power level is kept in check, but it's still one of the most powerful magic formats you can find out there. And like it's the reason we come back. It's the variety, it's the gameplay. I don't think there's anything more to say, really.
No, I 100% agree with you. This the format looks super sweet. It's a lot of it's kind of it kind of has this Brewer's Paradise feels where like you can
Yeah,
definitely try to put together a lot of very wacky deck, but also there are a lot of different a lot of like different decks that are established decks. Like if you're more of a person that's like, oh no, I really want to make sure that that I have my own deck. That's what I want to build. You can absolutely like build your own deck and have your own deck and make sure that that's your deck that you build. For people that are watching, I'm getting. I wanted to say that I'm getting some errors from Twitch, and I want to know if the video quality is looking right. Um, if we're having problems, I can quickly restart the stream to change the ingest server, but I was hoping to have fixed that problem. Okay, well, that's people in chat seem to say that the video quality is fine. So well, that's I like that. I like hearing that. Okay, so let me post the round 1 pairings. And what are we watching?
I would like Badwolf versus Pipesman, please.
Alrighty.
Oh.
I will be setting their hand cams in a minute, and yeah, we can.
Do we have a deck list for Para?
I am certain that Per is playing Paradoxical Outcome, but that's
okay.
what he always plays. I don't think he has submitted a deck list yet.
I'm just making an internal list here.
Yeah. All right. Let's. Let's do the thing. You feel the air. I need to get the hangouts going.
Yeah. Okay. So let me go through my decision making. I thought we should first off for match 1 today. I think we should have somebody who's done it before. We have some newer players, Tristan, and we have some players who hasn't really done this too many times. So Badwolf and Pipesman, SecretPipesman, that is, both veterans, not really, but like they have been through the ringer a couple of times, so thought it comfortable for them to take the first position. And secondly, it's a matchup I want to see. It's a very peculiar aggro up against the classical for Badwolf, and that's what he's done the many past times, and that's Abzan Walkers. I don't think that's a huge spoiler that he's on that deck. Seen it play to mixed results, but mostly positive, and that I feel like that's gonna be a good matchup. This unknown kind of force. I haven't seen the. Oh wait, I mixed up.
You remember when I said that I had fixed
Wolf.
all of the all of the technical issues? So I lied. But I know how to fix this one very quickly.
Okay.
So I will have to restart the stream though. I will. Sorry about this. We will be back in the next 2 seconds. We will not. I swear that this is a non-issue and I know how to fix it. Be right back. And we're back. Sorry. We have fixed the problem that we had before. Everything is working now. Let me see. Let me go back to the. Let me go to the match, and then we should be able to start. I have hand cams from both players. I'll set them up while we're watching. Let's see. So I have a request for our players, which is MTGO has stopped showing me ongoing matches. It only shows matches once they. Could you restart the match? Sorry.
I have the I can see it.
Yeah, for whatever reason, it only shows me matches that start after I have the window open. It doesn't show me ongoing ones. Like,
Okay.
yeah, I don't know why that is, but it's doing that. So if you could please restart, if the players could please start a new match, and then so that I can see it. That's that would be awesome. Oh, can the players hear me?
Both SecretPipesman and Moonwolf have no sound, which is
That's fair.
really irritating.
Yeah, it does make
That
things a
was
little harder, doesn't it? But it's
yes.
fine. Yeah, it's fine. I see them now, so it's just a matter of.
But as soon as we have the match reset up and running, and I see it, I have it on my end.
Yeah, I have it up.
We should be ready to go. As soon as you say you're ready, I can.
I am good to go. Yeah. Just get the players going. You can let them know that they can start. And Badwolf is on Abzan Midrange, you said? Yeah, it is,
yeah.
Right? Okay.
So we the aggro deck that SecretPipesman is on, I was mentioning. It's a pretty bog standard mono red list, but they are running recall.
Oh, they're running red deck recall. Neat.
So they are running every free quote unquote red blue dual land you can find under the sun, and then just basic snow mountains. Pretty good start from our aggro deck.
Nice.
Can I please get access to hands?
Oh yeah. Sorry about that. I forget about that every time. You should have won. And here is the other one. There you go. Alright, let me fix the names on screen, and in the meantime, just tell us what's going on with the games.
Aggro deck has been off to a fast start, but it's kind of running out of gas. They don't really have much more than a couple of burn spells, and then they have to top deck for the rest. Where as the name implies, the mid-range deck, it really has a lot of gas that they just need
mono gas going on, yeah.
For now, this Hazard is bad news, because it won't be wiped along with the rest for by the Cleansing Nova, which is of course the last thing that Badwolf wanted to see. And so I think this basically seals the deal in that one swift top deck from the red aggro deck. Badwolf basically needed to pull be able to cast Terminus in that on that turn, but for some reason,
he opted to block with
some reason, SecretPipesman didn't discard, but either way,
the game is over.
Either way, the game is over. There was not enough burn in hand.
It might have been a misclick.
Some misclick. I don't know. But either way, that is 1-0 to the Aggro deck. That's 1-0 to SecretPipesman. Players are considering mulligans. Would you have kept Badwolf's hand? I think it's a bit light against Aggro deck. Nothing you can cast.
Is a powerful card, but can't cast it at the moment. He was on 6 though. I think on 6 you're kind of pricing to keeping it.
Yeah, it's not certainly great. Not ideal.
Reactor's good.
The hand that the SecretPipesman has also really wants an additional land, but neither side really want what they have right now, and this...
Well, the Arena Reactor is actually really powerful. We saw that in play last week, actually, where like he dropped an Arena Reactor against an opponent because the other guy was like, hey, what am I supposed to do? Like, that thing is gonna die if I'm going to get through it.
Yeah.
Because like he's probably gonna do that right now, right? He drops it in a reactor, and then Pipesman attacks, or doesn't. If he doesn't attack, the Keldon Marauders goes away, and I guess the Keldon Marauder goes away anyway. And then the Jahal Pop is like, whatever, and he has to cobble together 9 points of burn because these things nice. Or if Keldon, he does attack, well, hi, there's a Sorin or an Eugene or something completely stupid that shows up. Like... Also, you know, Badwolf's deck has probably a bunch of ways to gain life. He opts not to attack,
but he's only a single non-basic land away from price of progressing Badwolf out of this game.
Pop is in hand? Oh, I missed that part. Yeah, no, you're right.
So, yeah. Oh, Stomp first and then Price of Progress. Of course, yeah, okay. And that was much more one-sided than I thought this would be. I thought the mid-range deck would have much better time.
Mid-range decks are advantage in this type of matchups, honestly.
Yeah, but maybe specifically the Super Friends Walker mid-range isn't that...
it's also just 2 games, right? Like, let's not... I know.
No,
I think we
but
watched
like,
this matchup last week as well. Pop was a huge problem. Pop
yeah,
was a huge problem for Badwolf, and Arena Rector was a huge problem for. I don't remember if it was Pipesman, but for whoever the red player was. Yeah, I mean, we saw that there was enough burn in um, oh god, in SecretPipesman's hand to finish the deal without having to go through the arena reactor. Red Deck Queens is in fact pretty good, Dave Beholds. 100% agree with you there. You attack people to death and then they die. That's
yeah.
pretty much what's happening here. Sadly, I don't have. I can't go to a different match because of the issue I was telling you before that they only show up if I'm already on the page when they start.
Damn.
But we're starting to get some results from our back tables anyway. Creston beat Para, so nice showing for a player that is at his first tournament. And then we had Pipes wins 2-0 against Badwolf. And we have what, 3 matches still going on?
Yeah. So I can just look at it. We have Nick versus Evermist. Where derNicky is on Bark Seasons Past.
Okay.
And and Evermist is on Naya Hoof. So
let me see if one of the players that have played wants to jump in and talk about their game a little bit while we wait.
Yeah, we could definitely do that, but I didn't see anybody who was mic'd at the time. Just send out a call and see what we get.
I'm just gonna write them. Anyone wants to and talk about their game?
But yeah, a quick overview. Nicky just lost, I think, or has conceded for some other reason.
I see.
Oh, what?
Nick wins 2-0 over Evermist. I don't know.
I mean,
Okay, my game view was bugged or something.
Hey, yeah, there's not much to talk about in my game. I was playing against like mono green Stompy, and I just got absolutely crushed in 2. Like game 1, I was setting up for upheaval, windfall like turn 4, and then just got aspect of the Hydra, and then game
aspect
2
of Hydra, yes.
Yep, for like 5 or something, and then game 2, I think they like 18'd me in 1 turn or like something like that. Well, not game. It was kind of wild.
I will be honest, I'm kind of happy because Creston texted me yesterday being like, look, I have this list, but it's not really optimized. I don't know if it's worth signing up for the tournament. And I was like, yeah, you should absolutely sign up.
Yeah, no, I
brews all the time. It's like also like it's not like the stakes are the highest that they've ever been, right? And I'm kind of happy to see him do well at least in round 1, and also his deck seems to be doing what it's meant to do. So
yeah, in game 2 I was feeling pretty confident because I was at like 13 or something, no, like 15. I was fairly high, honestly. And I had Golos in play, and I was but they had Rabid Bite, and then they had the
Rabbit
aspect,
bite.
and they had the aspect of the Hydra again. So they punched through my Golos, and then they attacked, and my heart is just like pounding out of my chest. Like, just don't have it. Just don't have it. I know you're only 3 damage short. Just don't have the giant growth. And then they aspect of the Hydra for like 5. It's like, ah, well, I'm dead. Also, both those games I had Ancient Tomb on one, and those activations probably killed me. I probably shouldn't have kept that second hand, but it was just a little slow against. I was just hoping that they would stumble a little bit and I could get an extra turn or something out of there. I probably would have been okay, but they just said they had the pump spells, and they hit me for quite a bit on that last turn. Like, again, it was like 13 to 15 damage, I think, that they hit me for.
As somebody who plays a lot of combo and Pioneer, I've definitely died to enough Aspect of Hydra for X equals 10, because Mono Green Stompy is a real cheap deck online.
Yeah, I think it was 15, because like I tapped Ancient Tomb, they hit me for 3. Oh my god, 3 for 2. Maybe I tapped it again. Then it would have been at 13. Yeah, but it was either it was 13, but they hit me for 15 because they put me to -2. So yeah, I just got absolutely crushed. I was basically like the first game I was crossing my fingers and hoping for no berserk. Then the second game I was just hoping for not giant growth, which tells you how low I was. But yeah, it was it's kind of exciting when you're in that position where you're like, okay, I think I have lines to go off next turn. I had a lot of access to a lot of mana. I had like a tutor or 2 in hand, and you're just like, can I pull it off? And then you just hit 6 and cross your fingers and pray that they don't have it.
They have aspect of a Hydra.
Yeah, sometimes they get you for 11 or 13 or 15 or whatever off a board of like 3 creatures, and you're like, well, that's life.
The deck that I usually play in these tournaments at 4-color Xerox, since I'm playing like Dismember and Snuff Out and stuff, the number of matches I win at like 1 or 2 life, I usually have to like go lay down for a while after the tournament.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I think this list is probably... We've seen a shift.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'm used to playing Death's Shadow in Modern, so that's just life. That's just how things work. You just like, oh yeah, I have 2 life. Everything is great. What you're talking about? Attack you.
There's definitely been a shift from like mid-range and combo with a little bit of control to a lot more aggro, which means this list has been put under a lot more pressure. So yeah, like last season I had a couple 3-0s, I think, and a lot of 2-1s. And this season, I think I'm mostly on 2-1s. Like I've managed to piece together some wins the last couple times I've showed up, but there's been a lot more pressure, which is interesting because this deck, I mean, my interaction starts at like 6. I can interact with Will Kenrith. Yeah, let's go.
Well, to be fair, those 6 mana you often have on turn 4 or something, right?
Right, yeah, that's the thing. I have to keep in mind those matches, right? I think if I mold a little bit better, not relying on the Ancient Tomb so much against a Stompy deck would probably be a good idea, but...
I think it's also like, are there a lot of tech choices you can make in Paradox Academy to make yourself better against Aggro, or is it just like you just hope to be faster?
I think you kind of just gotta hope to be faster. I think you can, like, you don't have a lot of access to interaction that's, like, amazing. I could put, like, an Aether Spellbomb in, maybe, because that's just an artifact that cantrips and generates mana with Floating Academy and can bounce something, maybe. I do have Retrofitter Foundry in here right now, which is pretty nice, because I can just generate chump blockers that contribute. If I get, like, a Saheeli
or... occasional 4/4, which is also nice.
Yeah, exactly. I have one, like, swinging with the 4/4. Like, and there's hands you can kind of shoot for if you want to get, like, your Urza down, you get a nice blocker out of that. If you can get a Saheeli down and get some tokens off of it, you could put I could put Sai back in. I could play some more of the token producers, right? Cut some of the other stuff.
So,
I'm guessing, like...
seen this Legacy Ninjas deck that has been making a little bit of the rounds recently?
I haven't, but I'm not surprised. Is it really like Changeling and Yuriko?
So here is the idea, right? So you want to play Yuriko and Ingenious Infiltrators because those are good cards. So, but in order to do so, you want to play creatures that are small and evasive and actually can get through, so that you can then bounce them to get your ninjas back. So you play a Changeling Outcast, which is a ninja, so that's awesome, and then you need another one. So what do? You play Ornithopter, because it costs no mana, that allows you to get there pretty easily on turn 2. But then you have 4 Ornithopters in your deck, so deck usually plays a couple of Retrofitter Foundries, and occasionally just like Ornithopter, Retrofitter Foundry, have a 4/4, go.
That's pretty funny.
I've always been very
It's the funniest thing in the universe.
The Glintnest Crane, the 1/3 flyer for 2, just because like I hate dying to 2/1s when I'm playing my blue artifact combo decks, and that was the last time I played Standard, so I was playing like Ether Flux combo with a bunch of Glintnest Cranes in it.
But I think it just really
It'll
comes
work
down to,
sometimes.
Better mulligan decisions, and maybe you can make some deck changes, just because like I have like an Ugin, right, and sometimes you just high roll them and you slam an Ugin when they have like 4 2-drops and you wipe their board. But when the field is full of aggro decks, then you're trying to hoping that you can high roll every single game, and that just doesn't happen. So you like there's probably some decisions I can make to change things up a little bit and be a little bit better at managing around with the expectation that I'm going to get hit a lot more often. It also depends on the kinds of aggro deck, right? Like something like Burn tends to be fairly consistent in its damage output across turns, aside from like Price of Progress, but there's not much you can do about that. So
Oh yeah, I know about Price of Progress.
you know what your turn count is in a given game. It's like I probably have another turn here and I can do it or not. But against a deck where it's like, they're playing Aspect of the Hydra and pump spells and stuff, you do not have that expectation. You just kind of gotta you have to play.
You don't know if next turn you're taking 4 damage or 15 necessarily.
Yeah, and like you just gotta hope that your luck holds and you can.
They usually like chip in and then they have a berserk turn, right, or something like that. When you're like,
exactly. Yeah. If you want to think of it that way, basically that kind of deck has more Price of Progress effects, right? Like in red, they're going to jump their turn count with a Price of Progress for way more damage than they would normally get, and for that Stompy deck, like you're going to have like an Aspect of the Hydra or a Berserk or Become Immense, even maybe a Scale Up, something like that. It just really shoots past their turn count by quite a bit, right? Because like Scale Up on a Monodork adds 5 damage, and they're probably not accounting for that for the most part.
Yeah,
you have a lot more uncertainty with like your turn count there, but by the same token, like you are less worried about maybe like an Abrade or something like that suddenly throwing off your turn count. So it's kind of and like
and I mean the deck is pretty resilient against like Abrade effects. What are you gonna do? Like I don't know. I'm trying to think of like one artifact that I really care to Abrade. I guess you Abrade a Mystic Forge when I have no cards in hand. That's unfortunate. But that's about it. Like, what are you going to do?
I guess that's true. I don't know that much about Paradox Academy, but I was thinking like the Stompy decks are going to be on average a lot less interactive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you still got access.
Their interaction will be at sorcery speed, and if they're playing like a Rec Sage, I'm fine if they're taking like spending 3 mana to put a 2/1 in play, as opposed to spending 3 mana on like 9 damage of pump spells, or deploying a bigger creature for less mana, right?
Yeah, because that's the thing, right? Their mana is pretty toxic because they're continually trading mana for damage, usually in that style.
I would much rather that people put mana into destroying my effects than put mana into killing me. Because I think the deck is resilient enough that the more turns I go that I'm not dead, even if you're interacting with my board, I can build up something and go off from there or something like that.
Though GarruksGardener does make the point that they are playing Manglehorn, which sounds like a major pain for your deck.
Yeah, Manglehorn's a pain. It's like in that realm of like 3 mana Thalia, where it's just a real pain because it's not just like the destroy effect, but it's more it messes with your tempo. You spend mana on your rocks and they're more expensive essentially, and they enter tapped.
Yeah, you have to wait till the next turn to
Academy enters tapped and like that. Basically it virtually subtracts a turn off their
because it adds one
turn count because it's tempoing you and pushing you back a turn. You can't go off as easily because you need a turn to untap your lands or whatever. If you have like a Candelabra in play, then maybe you're okay, but
well, it doesn't keep Tolarian Academy tapped, just the artifacts. Manglehorn.
Manglehorn I know. I'm talking like the Thalia effects.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
For some reason, I thought 3 mana Thalia, you were talking about like Vryn Wingmare or something. It just didn't process.
Yeah.
Please, if you're thinking 3 mana Thalia, you don't think Vryn Wingmare, you think Glowrider.
To be fair, I would rather...
there are decks in Vintage that play Glowrider over Vryn Wingmare.
I'd much rather face like 2 mana Thalia than 3 mana Thalia. Because 2 mana Thalia, you just have to generate more mana, and that's a thing that you're already doing.
Your deck
But-
is just that, like.
Yeah, you could combo off of your if your Sensei's Divining Top costs 4 mana. I've done it. It's not
For the vintage decks
that
playing Glow
difficult.
Rider, I'm imagining it so that you can name human with Cavern of Souls.
Yeah,
and it
it's
would,
because it's a human.
and it
Like
does-
there's
Well,
a
Glow
common
Rider
on
is
deck
ancient.
you haven't
Glow
played.
Rider.
Yeah, that's why it's a 3 mana 2/1 that makes things cost 1 more. It's from what is that? Onslaught? No, that's Legion.
It's from that
That's Legion
block. I don't
Seller.
remember the exact set, but
I
yeah,
think that's
let-
the
let-
Legion. It's from Legion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like basically, it's a human cleric. So the idea is that you can name human with Cavern of Souls, and that deck needs like 6 to 8 Talias, so they play all of them, and
having it uncounterable is better than having it be a flyer, basically.
yeah, you don't care about
Right.
flying. Like it's vintage. What is your opponent gonna do? Block? That's not how that format operates.
It's worse when you're playing against like the Deathrite Shaman bug piles, which are a deck right now.
Or if you're
but-
playing against like Eldrazi or something, yeah. But in general, you'd rather have the certainty that it resolves. Plus, you are playing effects that care about humans in other ways, right? Like you have other tribal synergies. It pumps your Thalia's lieutenants and stuff, which I think the deck plays them. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know vintage
if you're
humans
playing like
very well.
humans. But I my guess with those would be like basically Death and Taxes style decks. They could even be Eldrazi decks themselves, but you just need to make sure you get those effects into play, because otherwise you just die to Storm or
I mean,
whatever.
you play Thalia in Eldrazi, but
Yeah.
there is also a deck that is just humans. And I will be honest, and it looks like, I remember it looking not too dissimilar from the modern humans deck, but I don't remember
Like, yeah,
exactly
Dark
what
Confidant
it looks like.
Are we not able to pull up? It looks like a Bailite's match.
Sadly, I have this issue where MTGO only shows me a match as watchables if they are started while I'm looking at the Vintage Tournament.
Okay, weird. Yeah.
If you
And
want
I
to
had to
screen
restart the
share me, I
stream,
can pull the
so-
match up and you can watch it from my screen.
So I just pulled it up. Yeah, we saw Bailite's at 8 versus, but he just go for the throat of the ball lightning. So exciting.
So that never feels bad.
Yeah,
What are they on, by the way? Bailite is, I'm assuming, on Abzan.
red black
because that's
aggro
what he
versus
does.
Abzan.
Abzan
Oh, Blahguy
Midrange.
is on Rakdos Aggro. Yeah, that's also the deck that he's been.
Blahguy has no card, well, one card in hand because they draw for the turn, and a Sarcomancy in play. So I'm excited to see if they die to their own Sarcomancy. Bailite has an active Deathrite Shaman, so that's just going to gain him 2 life every turn. And they're also empty-handed now. So it's a board of Dorks versus Sarcomancy, and then some lands in this active
Yeah.
Deathrite. So Blahguy's at
Yeah, and
15,
we can watch
Bailite's
this
at
Deathrite
10,
pull them
but-
out of range at this point.
Yeah, and now Meyer Triton, I think. I was going to call it when you have like a ball lightning swinging against a Deathrite Shaman and a Goblin Guide, and now you have nothing versus a board of Dorks, and you're probably just going to die to them. So that's exciting.
Unfortunate, the Maya Triton got rid of the Gonti, which I suspect would have been a hot draw at this point.
Yeah, but like at the same time, you don't care, right? Like there, you have 4 damage per turn, 5 with Sarcomancy. You have a 3-turn clock, 2 turns.
Yeah.
I guess you're activating Deathrite Shaman on an instant or sorcery, which there's 20 in
And
both yards.
The
Firebolt
the
against
life gain,
Deathrite Shaman, but
2
still,
life
like
the Maya Triton is also an
Mhm.
important thing in this matchup.
Excel's a wrinkle, so 13 to 14. Bailite has now gained like 6 life since I've been watching.
And he
they've
gained
taken the
6
lead,
life
yeah.
before that. The Deathrite has exiled
Yeah,
6 cards. So that's
Meyer Triton's kind of in that Blessed Alliance category where it's not that anything about it is super powerful, but against your burn or aggro deck, it effectively trades for 2 cards.
well, also
which
the
is,
fact
like,
that it's doing
any number of
everything that you
those.
want,
Hmm.
right? It does everything that you want from a card in this deck. It's like it mills you, which you want. It gains you life, which helps you stabilize, and it has like the 2/1 body is not incredible, but then when you factor in the fact that it has Death Touch, so it trades incredibly well. And if they do kill it with something, you still trade it up because you've already gotten 4 cards in your yard.
I
plus
did
now
not realize
creatures,
that
so-
card had Death Touch until yesterday when I traded
Yeah,
my
no.
like 4-drop in draft for it, and I was like, what?
Yeah, no, Meyer Triton is pretty wild. And then it also has
Good card.
2
It's
relevant
awesome.
creature types. The Merfolk is probably a lot less relevant. As a black Merfolk, that's probably not going to be super relevant, like in 99% of cases. But I'm sure that if someone plays fish and you get him with it, you feel like a genius.
Funnily enough, the Mire Triton was turning off the Sarcomancy's damage effect because Sarcomancy checks the entire battlefield for zombies.
That's pretty funny. I did not realize that.
Hey.
And so it actually only adds 1 damage to the clock instead of 2.
I assume just getting like a Scooz here and then grow it to 5 power. Yeah, grow up to 5 power, gain 5 life. 5 life in this game looks pretty. Or no, actually, you can eat with the elves too. Yes, you can go to grow it to 7, gain 5, and this game is basically over.
Right, I don't see why. Price of Progress right now deals 8 to the opponent and would actually just kill Blahguy here, so
And
that's
6
not
to
that's
themselves.
not an out. There's really nothing else.
Yeah.
I mean, it would effectively kill Blahguy because it ends
Yeah,
the.
well, definitely.
the
I mean, they're already basically. I think we trade these, or at least one elf for them that will keep up the other.
That means the.
Yeah, well, it gives them lethal on board without having to deal with any creature.
Yeah.
And
I'm
lethal
sorry
just
about
off
the
to his next
robotic
turn.
voices. I'm having some. Apparently, my computer is finding a new and interesting way of trolling me. I connected the charger, and that caused my monitor to stop working.
Blahguy draws a Chandra, 3 mana new Chandra, and
Doesn't do
scoops
it.
it up. Yeah, doesn't do it for them. They do have access to a lightning bolt, but that doesn't kill anything relevant. Scooz can just grow and swing for lethal. So
The good news is that we're still live, so that's good. The bad news is that I need my second monitor to work for in order for this to be a stream that happens.
So, Bailite, what was the score?
I feel like I'm being ignored.
looks like they're writing it. Okay.
A bit, SecretPipesman? Just a bit.
That was me, the red mage, not SecretPipesman.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything. I'm out of insightful commentary. You have to wait till next week.
All right. Well, that looks like that clears up the matches for this round. So we'll get those reported and get the match results up, and get the second round going shortly. So
I'm gonna dip back out of the booth then.
Yeah, so I will do that in a second. I'm having a little bit of tech trouble here. One of my sound monitor just decided to stop working. Like, out of nowhere.
How are we cursed, Red Mage?
I'm starting to believe
cursed?
that might be a thing.
We can't
I don't
start
know.
on time.
I didn't know that this was an option. That it was like, oh yeah, I plugged in my charger, and that's been the entirety of the actions that I have performed, and that caused the sound monitor to just go black. And
Somebody needs to make a fake magic card. Aura curse. Technical difficulties.
this is. It just won't turn on. What the hell is going on? I just want to have a broadcast once where everything works fine. Is that too much to ask? What is happening?
apparently, yes.
So I'll just, for the viewers, recap all the matches from round 1. We have Bailite, which went 2-0, so that's Abzan, Midrange going up against Rakdos Aggro. We had Blahguy. Yeah, was his opponent on Rakdos Aggro, of course. Then we have of course SecretPipesman with Aggro Red Recall beating out Abzan Walkers, and Gardener with the best, just the best deck name this entire player pool, and that is Good Boys Green. And it indeed is some good boys, as well as going duo.
I
Fantastic
feel like
stuff.
that's infringing on the namespace of Boggy Boys, but I'm not Taste Slayer, so.
But of course, then we also had Aiamethyst, which is on black-white vampires, winning 2-0 versus loading.
Chest or shop?
Was on red wool. And is that a loading specific name? Because this is the third week I have failed to get a description for what red wool actually is.
It's just Red the Queens, man.
Okay, so it's a loading specific name. Got it. I won't not nick or like I won't nag upon the player specific names, because I of course have my
you have your
6-minute psychological checkup, but like I just want to know whenever the name is player specific.
No, that's fair. We're back. Tell me again who won between Bailite and the other player. Who's okay between Bailite and Blahguy. Hello, can you hear me?
Hey.
Can you tell me who won between Bailite and Blahguy in last round again? Sorry.
Bailite won 2-1.
All right.
Yep.
Sorry, yeah, I was already deep in the trying to fix things up thing at that point. Apparently, plugging in my computer caused the fuse in our wall electrical outlet to blow, or something like that, because the electrical outlet is just not working anymore. So yay! I guess that's what's happening.
Yeah.
I hate everything.
Chat.
We have a match too.
And Aiamethyst versus Bailite.
Okay. Okay, well, let me get the Hangouts calls set up.
Of course, as I just as I said earlier, Aiamethyst on black-white vampire, like midrange.
That's a spicy one for sure.
And
Bailite is on Abzan midrange, I imagine, right? That's the deck
on the definite midrange. And so this should be some good fair magic, you know, as Richard Garfield intended.
Yeah, there is no blue, there is no red. It's just some stuff.
They have gone off to their respective. So maybe we should.
Well, let me see if I can get them. If I can get them on Discord, on the calls. seeing Aiamethyst's I'm seeing Bailite's screen, and it's just not like he's not in the game. He's just in the lobby. So I think that explains why.
Aiamethyst, do we have them as well?
Please answer my Hangouts call so I can get your hand cam.
It would be greatly appreciated.
Let me invite you to the thing. So at least you have Bailite. Okay.
Please mute yourself in the Hangouts call.
Okay, didn't ring, she says.
Red Mage?
Yeah, what's up?
Mute yourself in the Discord, in Hangouts.
Fine. But just because you asked nicely.
I feel like it wasn't that nice. They have...
Maybe I'm just an idiot. Oh no, never mind. Send the invite. Okay. Try messaging me now at Canadian Highlander. Blah blah blah. There you go. Okay. All right, we have. I think I have. Well, never mind. I don't have hands for the other one, for Aiamethyst yet, but I do have a call. So, as soon as they share their hand, we good.
Yeah.
I added you to the wrong call, by the way. So
that was the wrong call. Okay.
Yeah. This is the right call, the one I just sent you right now.
Thank you.
Still don't have a hand, but I have the person, which you know.
Yep.
And I have a hand now. Sweet. Okay. Let's. That means we should be. Good to go. And yeah, I'm gonna set hands up momentarily.
Very similar hands in an unusual way from our two contestants.
Yeah,
and that is of course that Yahini is in both of them.
I haven't set hands up yet, so you might need to give me.
No, we have Amethyst starting with what I think is a Viscerous here. I can't quite. No, Ghoul Dras Vampire, which is a 1/1 that becomes a 1 with Intimidate when an opponent has 10 or less life.
Oh, it has that
Bailite.
bloody mechanic from Zendikar or whatever, where it
Yeah.
tells about your opponent being
At 10 or less. Bailite answers that with a turn 2 Tarmogoyf. Amethyst, turn 2 Inquisition of Kozilek, and let's see what they take. Very interesting decision here. Assassin's Trophy, Eladamri's Call, or Swords to Plowshares. Is
I
thinking
want to
about...
take Call just because you can't strip them out of removal spells completely.
Yeah, they take the Eladamri's Call, but like at the same time, you want the Shaheni to stick, and so the Path to Exile is one of the ways that could be dealt with. But of course, Bailite uses that now, not knowing what's to come.
I mean, this game revolves around the GTA, it feels like.
Yeah, but you need to have something.
Yeah, something to carry it, but it
bear
doesn't,
the GTA.
it doesn't need to be a good creature, it just needs to have a power and toughness.
Yeah. So, most likely what we're gonna see now is, the Yaheni next turn, shock yourself on the Godless Shrine to both cast and equip. And then it's off to the races. Meanwhile, in Camp Bailite, we have drawn both a Questing Beast and the means to cast it.
Questy B!
Yeah, but he doesn't actually cast it, which I'm surprised by. Maybe he's gonna Yaheni's Expertise. Does that cost 4?
Yeah, and his expertise costs 4 mana, yeah.
Yep. And so that he does.
More importantly,
Chooses
the
not to
Yaheni's
cast the
expertise means
Assassin's
that,
Trophy.
the Assassin's Trophy stays in hand, and that's a way that he has to answer the GT. And
Yep.
now Aiamethyst is without anything that can carry it anyway. So I expected this Questy B and these Tarmogoyf will just make short order of a life total, and they're gonna go to game 2 pretty shortly.
Of course, but this sword that Amethyst just drew is gonna deal with one of them, but which one
Yeah, but
is
like
really
both
up
of
in
them
the
are
air?
huge, right? Like, yeah, you kill the Questy B for sure, but then
Because it has
you still have to
vigilance.
contend with the 4/5 Tarmogoyf.
Yeah, not a good position to be sure.
Sorin doesn't really do anything if you don't have vampires around.
Yeah, and so he fires up the lifelink land. Probably gonna pay not pay the life for the Godless Shrine, and just passes it back.
Luca, just so that you're aware. Actually, let me double check, but I believe I has pronounced it.
Yeah.
A few times, just There's some spirits, so you know you needed 4 more powers on the board just in case.
Oh, double cast Lingering Souls. Yeah, that's...
Oh, he's still 1 short in terms of damage. Although, if this Sorin gets cast, he can Assassin's Trophy the Sorin. And that puts... Well, the Sorin didn't get cast, right? But if the Sorin got cast, he would have Assassin's Trophy the Sorin. That would have put a Planeswalker in the graveyard, which would have made the Goy 5 power, which would have been lethal. But the Shambling Vent activation puts Aiamethyst out of range anyway.
And so I'm looking at the list that Amethyst has submitted, and I can't see any outs. Like, there is no big splashy cards. It's a lot of like small things that together, get there in the end. But just something to draw on an empty board, it's...
Yeah,
Nope.
no, I mean, it's a synergy deck, right? So the moment that, like, your deck isn't built in the way that Bailite is, where, like, all of your cards end on your own for the most part. It's a bunch of small pieces that make each other better, but if you get a bunch of them cleared away by a Wrath, suddenly you are like, well...
Yep.
The...
I think the best thing he could draw... no, that wouldn't even do it. Nope, I don't see it, Chief. He doesn't have any of his own wraths, and he is just about dead on board. Almost, so very close. But I think this seems to be all. It's all over.
Yeah, I don't know how she gets out of this. She's been surviving best as she can, but and to be fair, like if she draws something decent, you
No,
are
but
in a place where like, the Sorin is impactful, the GT can mow down the spirits, but she just whiffed on like dudes.
She doesn't have any wraths. She doesn't have any really big impactful ETB effects.
Well, I mean, the thing is that, like, let's say that you peel a creature, right? You peel a creature, you strap the GT on it, then you can start mowing down a couple of... You chump the Goyf with it, you mow down a couple of spirits. Then maybe you peel another creature, right? And suddenly you can mow down the last two spirits with your GT counters. And at that point,
you
the board
still
is...
need the Goyf. What's she gonna answer the Goyf with?
I mean, yeah, I'm not saying that isn't a problem. It clearly is. My point is, my point is like, I think that if she had drawn a couple more random idiots, this game would have been... Because also, like, after the first champ,
yeah.
it's maybe you spend the first two... the first two counters threatening pump so that you can block and double pump and kill the Goyf that way.
Yeah.
Like, it's not ideal, right? I'm not saying she wasn't in a good position, but also her draws didn't do her any favor.
Yeah, of course. So, Amethyst leads with a Calastria Highborn.
Yep.
Whenever a vampire she controls dies, you may pay black and drain for 2.
Yeah.
And
It feels like part of the issue of this vampire deck is that you really do not have great one-drops. Right?
Yeah. There's a few, like...
I mean, which I feel like there's a lot of... there are actually quite a few decks for which that's a problem. But quite a few tribal decks for which that is an issue, right? That you look at your tribe and they're like, yeah, this could work if we had anywhere close to enough one-drops, which, oh yeah, we super do not.
I think vampires in specific has more not that bad one-drops than most other creature tribes, just because they've been around.
Yeah, I mean, but it's still not great. Like, Merfolk is probably one of the closest decks in terms of how good their tribal components are, just because they have like 3 2-mana lords and a smattering of other lords, which is pretty good to have. But also, you still have the issue of your 1-drop still suck. And Merfolk have been around since Alpha, right? Like, and the problem is that a lot of these tribal decks need 2 power 1-drops, and or like, in order for your 1 power 1-drop to be playable, they need to be exceedingly good. It's just not really a thing that there's a whole lot of in Magic.
Back in this game, we have what appears to be like a bigger back and forth, and what I see is if Amethyst draws another land, this could go her way big time.
Where it's kind of like, there it is. It's kind of like what we were talking about before, about the fact that Jite is an extremely powerful card, and as long as she has bodies to keep the Jite train going, she'll be doing well. Here we'll probably see Bailite dropping these mocks, going for the Vampire Nighthawk's throat, and then deploying the Nissa, if I were to guess, or the Sphinx or something to that effect. Because the Nighthawk plus GT represent a big issue, right? You have because it's a fast clock plus with lifelink, so you can't even raise it.
I always forget that Go for the Throat doesn't say non-black.
Yeah, no, it's not an artifact.
I always think it's non-black, non-artifact, just like the creature you evoke.
Dave Builds makes the point in chat that probably Elves has the largest suite of playable ones, and that's true, although it is also mentioning that Elves, even as a tribal Elves deck, you are usually trying to do something that is radically different than most traditional tribal decks are doing. In which your deck tends to be more about making large quantities of mana and dealing with things that, and then deploying giant idiots rather than having a small dude-based aggressive. Like, yeah, Elves has the most number of playable ones, right? But Elves, all of those ones are 1/1s. They're not 2 power 1/1s. They're not 2 power 1-drops for the most part. It's just that, like, yeah, they all tap for mana because for whatever reason Wizards saw fit to print like 7 of them for whatever reason that do all the same thing. Oh lol, creep swap.
That's dankness right there. That's an interesting token. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Yes, and now that I have seen it, I'm glad I hadn't before. Like, holy smokes, what is going on there?
Bailite has more what's it called? He's a more patient man than I am. I would have fired off that Go for the Throat a long time ago, but he's bidden his time.
I 100% agree with him here. You make because Aiamethyst is pinched on mana. You try to make them waste it.
I'm with you. It's certainly one of the more powerful play, but it's just the the magic player in me wants the mana efficiency.
Yeah, well, you learn. No, can
You
play
learn
control.
things.
I'm a control player. Mana efficiency is
Yeah.
secondary. You pass with your mana up a lot. Oh, we have a Nissa Vast.
Library, Nissa, this is all kinds of going in Bailite's favor.
Bailite is just building these. Like that's kind of like how this rock based deck operate, right? But like you just kind of generate this impossible mountain of value, and your opponent is trying to play aggro, and you're like, yeah, okay, but.
But the second that this jet gets off the ground, things might turn around here.
Yeah, but I guess that his Bailite is now out of removal spells, and the GT is actually significantly more likely to hit the ground here. Though,
Yeah.
How much mana does he have? Does he have 7 mana? He does. But only 2 of them are white. So he can't go Recruiter of the Guard, find the Monarch. Exile.
Oh, yeah. I'm with you.
Yeah.
But Bailite does have... Wait, 2 seconds. Bailite's number 9. That's this one.
He finds he finds the Knight of Autumn, right? That takes care of the GT, and then
course.
you don't have to worry about. You don't have to answer the issue that could carry the GT because there is no GT. Of course.
I was thinking about getting Shriekmaw.
You can. Oh no, yeah, it's toughness. You can get Shriekmaw, right?
But yeah, just getting the artifact, the jet.
Yeah, just get Knight of Autumn, right? I feel dumb for not thinking about it. It's like, oh yeah, you can just kill the GT, and you don't have to worry about all of this other nonsense.
And like, even if the match was even before, Amethyst just can't keep up with this card draw. Like, Bailite is drawing 2 to 3 cards a turn just from the amount of life he had, the buffer.
Yeah.
That he enjoyed.
Also, his board is stupid and dumb, like.
Yeah, and now with this Swords to Plowshares, that's gonna give all the life back for him to do it again next turn.
And there's
who cares that the
I'm assuming that
graveyard
Emrakul
is
the
extra.
Promise then can probably come down next turn. There's all sort of stuff going on. Like, I think that Aiamethyst, like, is doing her best to
and it's not a bad
and, like,
deck.
she's been holding out. She's held out longer than I thought she would be able to, but Bailite has to feel pretty good about where he's staying right now, right?
I don't think that Amethyst's deck is bad, and I mean,
I
she
agree.
won the first round.
Yeah, no, I 100%
It's
think
just
Amethyst deck is a perfectly serviceable deck of cards. Oh, actually, Emrakul definitely cannot come down because Bailite has 0 cards in his graveyard. But
but this situation, as soon as the vampire deck gets behind, they don't really have a way to restock their hand.
I mean, that's kind of how aggro works, right? Like, your goal is usually to make sure that you win before that happens.
Yeah, but like
Well, it didn't work
yeah,
here.
but
I
as an
regret you
aggro
that
deck,
much.
vampires just doesn't have the reach, do they? I thought them more of a fast mid-range deck. Is that wrong?
Excuse me?
I've always thought of vampires as a fast mid-range deck, just because they don't have the
No, and I think there's some truth there, right? Like, I can definitely imagine this vampires deck being really good against, like, say, red deck queens.
yeah.
Just because you're just a little bit slower, and then you end up being in a position where it becomes really easy for you to actually words are not real things that I can use. And then, like, you're just slightly bigger, you can gain some life. Vampires are pretty good at that. And you can actually make sure that you battle them to a point where you can win. But this does not look like the matchup. But, like, Magic is a game where in general you want to be either a lot faster than your opponent or just a little bit slower. And that's kind of Bailite is with respect to Aiamethyst, where he's just a little bit slower. But it's not so much slower that the matchup becomes bad. It's just he's in that sweet spot where you're just a little bit slower. And that puts you in a position where, like, you're just doing bigger and better things. And you are going to be able to go on top of your opponent before they will be able to do anything about it. I really do not understand how this game is doing.
Okay. That's a big alpha attack. And that is lethal.
I was like, the score was wrong. This is match for me. I was like, I was trying to, like, say things about, like, where we would be able to, like, talk about, but, like, I'm feeling the air. Why is this game still happening? Okay, let's go watch some other matches. I think this round we should be able
we have had the reports in from Pipesman 2-0 over Nicky. Evermist 2-0 over Para. And now we saw Bailite 2-0 again, yeah?
Yeah.
Evermist correction is a 2-1.
JPSS 92400, welcome to the channel. So the short answer is that we, as in the tournament organizers, have all the lists. I had not done, like, you should join us on Discord. I put you the link down there, and that's gonna help you find, and there are a lot of resources in terms of lists you can find. My recommendation is that I would ask the people on Discord directly for their lists rather than ask me, because I don't want necessarily to reveal everybody's, like, sweet tech directly, right? Like, that my suggestion would be to just ask people directly if possible. The Discord has all of the names that we use to refer to people as part of the tournament are their Discord names, not their MTGO names. So you are super. Yeah, I know, but I also don't want to make the decision for them, right? Like, I think
I
am sure that, like, everybody will be super happy to actually share this list.
Anyone who does feel like asking in the Discord, I'm sure that, like, anyone will be more than willing to.
100%.
Talk through their choices, give suggestions for alterations.
In general, people
like
are more than happy to talk about their deck choices, but also it's not something, like, you should ask the people that have the decks and not, because that's probably it feels better rather than speaking of which, if you're watching this broadcast, podcast and you're not on the Discord yet, join the Discord. You can type !Discord in chat, which I just did. In order to join there, it's full of people that are super happy to help with anything that is Canadian Highlander related. Not just they won't like help you like move probably, but they're super down. They will definitely help you with deck building, and also it's where we run these tournaments from. So if you want to join the tournament next week, there's gonna be an announcement in the Discord itself.
Yep, there you go. I was gonna say, like, it's a pretty close game. Like a bolt here off the top for Please Wait would do it with this Ferocidon, but Gardener just has a pump spell and has lethal. And that's just
wow! Look at this! Look at this adorable dog going. GarruksGardener just MTG.
Yeah, what is
not
that?
seen
That's
it. Okay, I think that was the last match.
Scrambled Good Boy, it says. I don't know.
Is that a magic card? Scrambled Good Boy.
Well, it's probably from a magic card. I don't know. Who knows? Doesn't look like it, though.
Okay,
that
was the last match, right?
Yep, that's the round.
Alright, so let me move to this screen and change these, and then I will need, and then I haven't done my job of filling everything up. So if you could tell me all the round results while I put them in just for speed. Pipes versus derNicky.
What?
Can you tell me the match results while I put them in just for
Pipesman 2-0 over Nicky.
Pipesman 2-0.
Yep.
We watch Bailite win 2-0 versus Aiamethyst. Creston versus Loading. What we saw Creston win.
2-0?
2-0 for
what about
Creston?
Badwolf
And Evermist.
dropped, I think, we figured
Yep.
out.
Yes.
He did?
Blahguy wins.
Yeah, and then Evermist was 2-1 over me.
And we will drop Badwolf. And Evermist 2-1 over Para. Okay. And we have
It was we might have missed it in all the action, but Badwolf did say at the end of his match that he was he had to go.
That's fair.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, it's it is what it is.
Well, we did start quite late compared to.
Yeah, no, that's fair. We'll watch Bailite
I got a
versus
free
Creston
win.
in the finals. And
Yeah. Well done to Creston for
yeah.
going.
First show and doing well.
Yeah, it turns out all you need are some creatures and some pump spells.
Yes, some idiots and some ways to make them soul.
I mean, we just saw them beat.
You in the booth?
Yeah, I'll hang out because I got the buy. So.
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So yeah, like GarruksGardener beat or Creston beat both Burn. We just saw the tail end of their match there, and Paradox Academy. So you can see like the power of that kind of deck. It has game against a lot of different matchups because you're just like. You have the creatures, which can help you against those more aggressive decks. But you have the pump spells, which can help you, especially if you got trample. You can trade for push for damage, trade with creatures, and you've got game against the combo decks because you have a pretty efficient clock. So your real risk is against something like the mid-range or the control matchups where you're at risk of just getting beat out by their removal, especially if you go for it on a pump spell and they have the answer. So who are we watching for this?
We're watching the finals, which is Bailite versus Creston.
Yeah, so
Mute yourself.
I predict that we might run into Creston might run into some issues here with Bailite's deck, just because Bailite is running a lot of removal. We've seen
Red Mage.
Yeah, what's up?
Mute yourself.
I did what?
Mute yourself.
Right.
Yeah, so I predict we might see some issues here just because you have like the fatal pushes, you have the go for the throats, you have the removal, you have even the death touch creatures, which is really rough for Gardener to get around. If you're pushing, you may be punching through for a couple points of damage with trample, but if you lose your creature on the
Preston,
turn,
also mute yourself.
if you run into issues off the back with like Gonti or Meyer Triton or something like that, then you're trading your creature and your pump spell for some damage, but you're also losing your creature, and so Bailite can really grind out advantage with that. I don't know exactly their list right now, but I know that Bailite has tended to run a lot of Planeswalkers in the past as well, so they can eke out incremental advantage there. So really, especially if you split the damage between Bailite and the Planeswalkers to keep them off the board, that can really cause issues.
Do we have Creston's hand yet?
Yep.
We do.
So like we see, we've got a Murderous Rider up here, Fauna Shaman. I assume that's Bailite's hand.
Yeah, we have Bailite's hand on top.
Okay, we can run a shift that because Bailite, it's on the bottom.
Yes, I'm working on it.
No worries. Okay, just making sure. All right, yeah. So we just have a classic Monodorp start here. But you can see again, like that Murderous Rider is going to cause issues. And you got that Fauna Shaman, which can tutor. And over here, we can see just raw beef on Creston's side here. Some 3/3s for 2, 2/3s for 2. A pump spell land with the desert.
Yeah, like this Good Boys deck. Yes, it's like mid-range Stompy.
It's just a green, yeah. It's a mono green Stompy. It's not like a medium deck, which focuses on having a lot of
Acceleration.
2 mana and stuff. Yeah, it's more of a almost like a devotion deck, right?
Yeah.
I don't think there's really many devotion deck payoffs other than Aspect of the Hydra, but you are playing a lot of pip dense, high power creatures. Yeah, but it's just got a lot of value here, and that's really going to cause problems for Gardener. They can't chip in for damage against Bailite very easily through this board. And Bailite can really just outvalue here. Looks like they're going to go pitch the Eternal Witness, fetch a Tireless Tracker, yeah, and just grind it out. Flooded Strand, crack it, get another clue. And with this removal spell up next turn, and they can hold up removal or clues for basically the rest of the game. And really just tax Gardener's ability to go for it, right? If you got to go for a big swing, Tireless Tracker is going to keep growing, and then if the Bailite has a removal spell, that probably just spells the end for Creston. So really, it's an uphill battle here. We'll see how they go. It looks like they might be considering Reclamation Sage on the Mox.
If he doesn't get another land for next turn, I think he's gonna be a bit sad because he can't afford to take many turns to put his hand out on the board.
Yes, but also like it's the kind of deck where if you're not drawing lands, as long as you're not drawing a lot of 2-drops in this situation, you're probably okay. If you're drawing your pump spells, you might be okay. Just because you can, like, Tireless Tracker is probably never blocking. And if you can get the chip damage in what Bailite's trying to set up, then maybe you can have a chance, but... Gonna fetch, okay, Godless Ring, yeah. Gets you to double white, double black, double green off your lands alone, and then you got the Elvish Mystic. So Bailite's just kind of, like, in the driver's seat here. Hold up mana, have a removal spell if you need it, crack 2 clues if you don't. You can also play this land and employ the...
and that is gonna help with, a lot of, no, not a lot, but a way that Creston's can get ahead is with these pump spells, which, because of the many pips, the many stories we've heard of Aspect of Hydra so far.
Yeah, and see, this is the kind of situation where I don't know if I like that attack, honestly, because if... Well, I guess, no, you still have your removal spell. I was going to say, but if Creston has a pump spell, you're in trouble, but it doesn't need it. Like, Bailite just has absolute control over this game. Just cards Scoos, tutors Titania, gets back a fetch, it's going to get a 5/3 and 2 more clues, right? Like...
And really, that's the problem here is if if your opponent's creatures is bigger than your creatures plus their pump spells, the pump spells doesn't do nothing.
Yeah. I mean, it's the kind of situation where if you had, like, maybe... This is the kind of, like, situation where if you have some of the more powerful pump spells, or your Graveyard is full and you had to become immense and maybe, like, a Berserk, you could still take it from here, but it's kind of a rough position. Interesting. Goes for the Mox. I don't know. You have the Runic Armosaur? I don't remember the exact text on that. Let me double check. Oh, well, I guess... It's not quite like that, because that's probably better. But yeah, this draws a card off of
And
creature or land.
Armosaur doesn't even do nothing here, right?
Yeah. I was wondering if it affected clues, but it doesn't. You just fetch a response.
There's only triggered abilities, and then the activated on the artifact. But
yeah, there are no non-land. I guess you would draw off of the Fauna Shaman activations, but that's the only thing here that would matter.
Yeah.
The fetch land, but you can just fetch a response.
Also, while this game was ongoing, I took the time to update the next poll command in chat just so that people know. So if people want to sign up for next week's tournament, your best bet is always to be on the Discord, and I really recommend that you're in the Discord, which again, exclamation point Discord. But you can type exclamation point next poll. That's gonna get you a link to the next to the sign up poll for the next week's tournament, so you can be there and sign up and play some powerful Magic. And we're always happy to have new players around, so you should totally do that.
Yeah, so I think, like, I don't like to call it early. I don't like to, but I think this game is, like, really, really, as they said on the, the year end, the pointy bar of winning is heavily in the direction of Bailite. And we'll have to see if Gardener has ways to swing it back.
We had this issue kind of last matchup where, like, Bailite won the game on turn, like, 6, and then the game actually finished on turn, like, 12, and we were like...
yeah. And, like, the thing is, this isn't really... It's not like this is a failing of Preston's deck. It's just that Bailite's deck is designed to do exactly this.
Yeah, it's... I think Alex Stacey described it in the most compelling way I've seen, which is, like, your aggro deck is trying to, like, go fast like Sonic the Hedgehog, and your opponent is slowly lowering down a shipping container of value on top of you. It's kind of a matter of seeing if you can get off from underneath it before it gets down, but
it's an uphill battle. Having the elf and the mox really increases the speed at which that shipping container is coming down.
Yeah, you just get, like, the first few feet in free fall in that case.
And now Gardener scoops it up. Here's the relentless, like, Bailite doesn't even have to block. I mean, you probably still block something even if they have rules play, you just trade it, but, like, rough draw for Gardener, solid draw for Bailite, and in a difficult matchup for Gardener anyways, so there's just a lot of it's a lot of value to be facing, and it's really difficult to come back from that kind of position. Okay, so Gardener here could have they mulligan away. I don't know if maybe they keep this. They got an elf. They got a lot of pump spells. This is a hand that can go real fast, and Bailite doesn't have a lot going on over here. Is that that's a wasteland? I honestly promo the Expedition Marsh Flats always looks like the Expedition Wasteland to me. I see Bailite has the foil animations turned on their Micto.
For shame.
Pulls down to 6, 2 lands, but you have this Winding Way, which will help make their land. And a Questing Beast, which is going to be real rough. Like I said, like the Death Touch is kind of an issue. I don't know if Gardener has a way to turn a Revolt for this Liberator. A little awkward as a 2-1. you look at like just the amount of damage that they potentially have in their hand, it can get out of hand pretty fast. But they wish, they really wish they had another green source here. They could deploy this Llanowar Tribe, but Mistress Factory is really hurting.
Interesting.
Hooks in for one of elves and probably just deploys the Liberator here. It's a piker, which is unfortunate. But sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Still attacks for 2.
Yeah, and swings for 5 here next turn if they want. If they want to activate and swing with the elves, or 7 with the mutagenic growth, right? If they get a green source, they can deploy this Llanowar Tribe that represents even more damage. So, swords here can throw a wrench in the plans, but
Also, I will say this much about the Greenwood Liberator. He has a pair of really bitchin' swords, which you have to. I like his style. Hairstyle? Hairstyle, I think, actually.
yeah, Bailite wisely decides to leave up the mana here and not go for this winding way. Just sit back on this path, develop a little bit slower here, and be prepared for one of the big pump spells. Goes for a path on the
Yeah, like it's good because otherwise the Stranglerot guys would have been a pain in the butt.
Yeah, it just trades with whatever you're doing and then comes back slightly bigger. So.
I mean, this Lingering Soul's also good, dude. Speaking of trading with anything that you're doing.
Gardener really feeling a pinch on the mana here. They really just need that 3rd green source to get this tribe down. And then basically anything they draw that's not a land is pretty live, but the spirits are really
I'm
awkward here.
surprised that Llanowar Tribe is in their deck, because, like, it doesn't feel like the deck is that mana hungry.
Yeah.
Well, at the same time, it's 3 mana 3/3, which produces a lot of pips.
Yeah, I suppose.
But and when you're
this
trying to
deck
cast
can't
some of
be
the
playing, like, what are your devotion payoffs outside of Hydra's growth?
well, it's also just like it's a 3 mana 3/3, which I think you're already playing some of the other 3 mana 3/3s. So the green will not really matter most of the time because you probably don't have that many colorless sources. And when you're trying to cast like a Vines of the Vastwood and a it can help you cast like the Commandments or any of those more expensive cards. It really helps to have access to that extra mana.
We see here that Lingering Soul's already traded for a Llanowar Elf and the Mythogenic Growth.
And it's gonna come down again on the other side.
Yeah. Ready
Eventually,
to
in a couple
still
turns.
threaten to trade for this Greenwood Liberator.
Winding way, hoping to find lands.
I have looked through the deck list, and he also has a Renata.
Mire Triton and Stoneforge Mystic out of the yard.
So
That Renata is an X3, right? Or is it the 3X?
yeah, star 3,
Okay.
where star is equal to your devotion to green.
So Bailite hit 2 lands, Twilight Mire, which you deployed, and Flooded Strand, and then put Mire Triton and Stoneforge Mystic into the bin.
Yeah. And now it's questing time. I imagine, right? Like, you probably just slammed this questing beast. It attacks, it attacks, it protects. It's a 4/4/4/4.
Real hard to beat here.
Yeah, I mean, even if this Vines of Vastwood, like, he still has, even if Vines of Vastwood gets involved, he still has to trade 2 for 1. Because because the Questing Beast has Death
Questing
Touch.
Beast has Death Touch for some reason.
On top of, all of the other things that it has.
The essay that is Questing Beast. It has 4 distinct abilities. One is 3 lines long, one is 2 or 2 lines long, and one is just a list of 3 abilities. It's a silly card. Yeah, and so Bailite, or Gardener's just in a position where they're 2 for 1ing themselves into Bailite's deck.
I mean,
and Bailite's deck is already trying to 2 for 1 and 1
right.
for 1.
And they're like 2.5 1% for themselves, because this Greenwood Liberator is gonna trade for a Spirit. This Greenwood Liberator really paid, like, being a pike here really was bad for this game with Liberator.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious, like, how many of the fetch lands and stuff they have in here.
In the deck,
Yeah.
Oh, and
They
it's even worse because the Caracas can bounce the Westin Beast and make these Vines of the Vastwood pointless.
Yeah.
I can tell you they have none.
Interesting. Okay. Maybe they're just planning on playing it, trading aggressively and
They
slamming
have a
it down.
Black Lotus, and that's it.
Okay, Black Lotuses, yeah. That
They
makes
also
sense.
have Hashep Oasis. That's something.
Okay, I
to
just went for the
sacrifice.
damage, which I think is probably
Oh.
better. Puts them to 7, but now your board is basically gone. You're gonna have a real tough time. Like, your hand is
Yeah,
empty.
how
your board is
like
empty.
they're
Yeah.
at 7, but how do you win from there, right?
You have a
You
2/2 versus questing
really
beast.
needed
This
to
isn't
kill
like
the questing beast, didn't
It's
you?
not like a burn deck where you have reach with like price of progress, right? Would answer it if you're in a
Yeah,
red
I mean,
deck.
Berserk is probably their best reach, but they need.
Yeah, but I need
So-
a creature and a berserk.
Yeah, I mean they have the land. But the thing is that I guess that if they draw like Berserk plus Giant Growth or some sort,
Oof,
that's
and wasteland to kill this factory as well if they need to.
well, okay. Fine,
Yeah, like
Bailite, have it all.
Have it all. Yeah, it's an uphill battle. Are they gonna level this tree speaker? Huh? Boo. Boo.
The Green Soul Ring.
I love tree speaker.
I love it. I love it too. I take this card so highly in Cube.
And we're just about with that Titania.
And free Titania, yeah, with 2 fetch lands because you can fetch or get 1 back. Yeah, just deploys the Liliana. Doesn't need to go after the Titania here. Doesn't matter. Keeps up the Caracas and Quest Beast if you need it.
Yeah.
Vigilance and Death Touch and Haste. Every single word on that card is absurd. Yeah, but I mean, great showing for Gardener here, going 2-1, crushing 2. I think they won both as 2-0s as well. So there's
Yeah.
absolutely power here.
Yeah,
And like you
this
said at the top,
matchup seems horrific for them.
it's
honestly.
a really, really rough matchup. This is exactly what Bailite has been playing. Like basically
Yeah.
what their deck is built
Yeah,
around.
Bailite's deck is naturally built to prey on aggressive decks, right? It's like, look, I'm just gonna show up and have a billion mid-range threats and some life gain and be like, and be just slightly slower than you and just sit on top of your head.
Yeah, and like
Yeah,
you said,
worked out.
cards like those stompy kinds of decks tend to be fairly card disadvantage heavy, and going that into the removal and into the death touch is just it's an even steeper uphill battle than like matchup kind of already is. But
And
again, congratulations to both of them for being in the finals, and to Bailite for taking it home.
It's
That was a good match.
consistent deck. Bailite having gotten quite good points in previous weeks and now taking home an entire tournament.
Yeah, I mean,
Good
it seems
job-
really
good
well
job.
positioned
We'll,
against the meta that we've seen. A lot of more aggressive decks, and it still has a mid-range deck. Like you can see, it has some of the game against combo with some of the removal elements. It's built to take advantage of where this tournament meta is at the moment.
I'm assuming that Evermist is on Cradle Hoof, right? I moved to the Evermist versus Aiamethyst.
They did natural order for Cradle against me in game 3, so
Yeah,
they
there's
do
also
have a
some
natural
mono
order and a
green.
hoof. I didn't see a Cradle, but
Well, I'm just gonna write Cradle Hoof because there is a prime time play and there
Evermist is on Naya Hoof.
yeah, I comboed them in game 1. In game 2, they had like a turn 3 finale for Oof, and I just couldn't get out from under it, and they had a Wasteland too. And game 3, they had just a natural Oof, and I couldn't get my upheaval off, so I died.
And to answer your question, Red Mage, yes, they have a Cradle.
Well, I mean,
And they also have the new Cradle, the Itlamok.
Itlamok, Cradle of the Sun.
Yeah, so we have Thessian Sage, Dark Depths, which is going to be real good against this vampire deck. They could have Path or Swords, but other than that, a lot of their removal is going to have a hard time getting through.
Yeah, sadly we won't have hands for these for this matchup.
But they are at 6. So they kind of have... yeah.
Do they have the Sirius Blessing? Probably not, right?
No.
No.
It would say. Interesting. Goes for the bowl. Are they going face? Okay. I'm curious if they have a removal spell, they just win because they have the annual remove the prime time. 3 cards in hand. It's fairly likely paying costs. Oh no! Just destroys the lands.
Oh no!
That's a reasonable answer to
To Dark Depths combo.
Dark Depths combo. Yeah, fetch it. Okay, sure. Next. This is actually interesting because, oh yeah, and I really like this line actually. Primetime can swing at Sorin, but none of their other creatures can kill it, and then they just tick up, throw Yahenni at face. We do have access to 3 mana here. Courser will not do it, because they're just dead to this Sorin.
Well,
They need to have an answer to Sorin.
If there was a land on top, Cursor would have gained a life. Sorin will go to 1, but he can.
Yeah, but Sorin, it's a plus. It's
Yeah.
a plus to throw Yahenni or play a Vamp and throw
Yeah.
it.
Certainly is that.
Damn.
They look like, yeah, and Anya's at 32 as well. Like,
Oh, there is also that.
like, they've got a lot of time. Well, not a lot of time, but an amount of time. Well, actually, no, you're right, because this attack does primetime gains 2 life off Courser, so they will have to find a couple points of damage here.
Right.
Does Yahenni's sacrifice ability cost mana? I don't think it does.
No, it doesn't. It's just sack a creature, another creature you control, Yahenni gains indestructible. So Evermist fetches about approximately 1 million mana. Naya on top. It's
Oh,
interesting with the Courser. They'll have a ton of mana next turn. They could probably, like... It's really back and
Two
forth here.
life gained from the Cursor, actually. You were like, Cursor will not do it, but Cursor kinda did it.
Yeah, of course. Well, I was forgetting, with the attack off the
yeah.
points of life gain here.
Yeah, I need to find a couple more points of damage, and that's not easy.
That said, like, I don't know, do you just, like, I think you might just plus up on your, depending on what you have in hand, plus up on your Yahenni, just touch lifelink, make it a 4/4, swing in, put them to 1, or they have to block with Courser. And then Yahenni gets another counter on her. But... okay, they take it. I mean, fair, I guess. Like, you're figuring, what do they have? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's in Anya's list. I don't know what vampires they have access to. It's very hard to predict, especially without seeing their hands, what they could have to get out of the situation. It is...
I mean...
yeah, so,
oh no, they have 2 cards in hand. And...
like, they have a lot of life. They don't have a lot of mana, and Evermist has all the mana in the world.
yeah, they actually don't have a lot of time. Like...
yeah.
They're getting attacked by a 6/6 Titan.
Well,
And,
yeah, well... like, Evermist can throw, like, 10 points of damage per turn, so that's still 3 turns, right? Like... right? And you, and
yeah,
when
you're right.
And when Yahenni untaps, you can block the
The Cursor.
anything that isn't the prime time. So really, you're throwing 7 points of damage. But Evermist has approximately infinite mana. They've rebuilt because of that prime time. They've rebuilt from the Ravages way faster.
Yeah.
Without knowing what's in Anya's hand, which is Anya's hand, maybe. Well, I guess no. You kind of have to. You do have to Ravage there because of the threat of Dark Depths, but.
10 mana before mana dogs. Holy moly.
Yeah, this is a whole thing.
Yeah, and then we saw the Naya off the top, and this is the new Naya, so you just activate, draw this Tree Speaker, play it, activate again. Can play the fetch off the top, I believe, if they haven't played the land yet.
Yep.
It's covered in blue, so I don't know. No, they played a Snow-Covered Forest.
No, they must have played the land, right?
They played a Snow-Covered Forest, yeah.
Yeah, otherwise they
mill
wouldn't
this.
have...
they played the snow card. Yeah.
Yeah, there is no way for them to have
And now they have
an odd number of lands. Otherwise.
Fail to find, but yes, and it would be tapped if it was caught off prime time. Okay, yeah, decides not to. Just levels up the Tree Speaker.
Oops, sorry. We left the game. We're back.
I was
game.
like, level up Tree Speeder. Where's Tree Speeder?
We need to be
Sorry.
what the Magic
Evermist
Online.
takes it.
Okay.
Evermist wins. Anya scoops it up. Doesn't have an answer. It's fair. Yeah, that Courser got it there. I just totally forgot the attack triggers, but without that gaining 2 life off the prime time with the
That
Courser,
was,
which is a really good draw for that Courser to gain the 2
yeah.
points of life. Amethyst had it with the Soren, which is pretty interesting, but especially, Ravages off of... Once your opponent goes prime time into Dark Depths and then you slam Ravages, that's a pretty good feeling. And when you got lethal on board after that, when they swing in for 7 against your Soren and it's still there, like... pretty great back and forth there. But yeah, like Ravages into primetime feels bad, but it's also what you got to do in that kind of situation. Are Loading and Nicky still going?
No, I think we're done. No, never mind. We have the game of Nicky versus
Loading.
Loading. Oh, right. Please wait. Nice.
Yeah. So Nicky's got a fairly large ooze, 5/5 ooze against a 5/2 Bone Crusher because it's got a Skull Clamp on it. Cast a Dig Through Time. They've flipped his contact. Time Walk's in the yard, so that's exciting. Spellseeker, Regrowth. Looks like they've taken a couple extra turns off this Spellseeker Time Walk combo. 1 card in hand for Loading versus 4 for Nicky. And with an active Squeeze, like, I don't know. Cycles Miscalc. Is this an extra? No, it's on the end. Okay, it was on Loading's end step. Makes sense. Untaps. Casts a Jace. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like an embarrassment of riches here. 4 cards in hand, they have an activist contest, slams a Tarmogoyf, and I don't really see how Loading gets out of it. I guess, I mean, that's a lie. If they swing in with its Bone Crusher, and it dies, and they draw a Price of Progress, it's probably game. Can gain life off the Scoobs. It will smack in pretty hard, but there are definitely ways
what
for...
what is Nicky on, by the way?
Looks like a bug.
Bug season passed.
Bug season's passed.
Okay, yeah.
Wait.
Pernicious Steed in the yard, yeah.
I don't know what that exactly means, but it's like...
It's some sort of bug
Midrange.
control there that includes the head
Yeah.
season past. Like, released early, I'm imagining. That's it.
Yes. So swings in with his giant. Absolutely free attacks, yeah. It's free realistic. You gotta block. I mean, I think he just probably... I was gonna say, you probably just block with this Jace. Don't let him get 2 cards. You don't need your Jace at this point. I guess he wants to flip the Jace in Time Walk and just close out this game, which is totally fair.
Yeah.
But
I mean, the game ends, right? Pillar of Flamerino.
it'll
The other
kill
card-
and exile his Scoops? Oh no, it goes to the
other
face.
card, Lava
Ah. Okay.
And yeah, this is it.
Well, do they? Yeah. There
Oh
you
no,
go.
they had another card in hand. Never mind.
Yeah, they drew. No, but they gained the 1 life, so it really depends. Do they have a 4th burn spell?
Do they have they have another card in hand.
They
Yeah.
have 1 left.
They don't
They
have
don't.
anything. Or they're slow rolling, which is also possible, but I doubt
Which
it.
is also a possibility.
That would
yes.
be...
I would 100% put it in Loading's wheelhouse.
Also, you don't slow roll against the Scoos. I guess, are there any creatures left in yards? There aren't, so they can't gain life that way, but,
No.
I
maybe the
would
counterspell didn't
not
come out.
put it past Loading to be slow rolling the opponent. He's not one.
Collective Brutality,
Okay, we're gonna
Duress mode, so we'll see.
see
We'll
what's
see what
up.
they've got.
Okay.
Immolation Shaman.
Immolation Shaman.
For your immolation needs.
Yeah, and this is game here. Swing for
Yeah,
11,
yeah,
swing
the
for
game's
11 with
over.
this. But that was real close. And that's what I think, honestly, maybe you just block with the Jace. I guess it depends what you have in hand, but... I don't know.
But
I
it's
can
not the
also see-
difference of a single card, right? Because like
Yeah, I was gonna say I could also see going for the funeral or the exile on Scavenging Ooze with the 2 damage burn spell. Take 7 points of damage off the board because they had 5 damage marked on it, and it could go to a 7/7, but you'd be doing 2 more on it. So I could see burning the ooze, and then
that just buys you time.
well, yeah, and then it's
Just to
down
buy-
to
to
and then
draw-
we'll
to draw more
burn,
burns
okay,
down.
yeah, like burn the ooze, bolt the Jace, and then deploy the Immolation Shaman.
Well,
But that was the last match.
that was the
There,
last match, yeah.
or as more colloquially, Nicholas wins 2-1.
All right. So,
And with that,
Yeah, and that
do we
closes
know
out
if
the,
Pipes? Do we know if Pipes won against Blahguy? By the way.
they reported earlier Blahguy 2-0 for Pipesman.
All right. So that puts Bailite as
Bailite 3-0, and then we
Bailite
have
as the only
3-2-1.
3-0 because Pipes had a pair down. He was also on 2-0. So if he had one,
Yeah, so we have 4 2-1s?
I believe so.
Or no, 5 because Nikki won as well.
So Nicky won what 2-0, 2-1.
2-1. 2-1.
And Aiamethyst versus Evermist finished with Evermist winning 2 how much?
What's up? Sorry,
What was the final score in Aiamethyst versus Evermist?
I've missed 2-0.
2-0, okay.
Yeah, so we have that puts us I think as 1-3-0 player today, 5 2-1s. Yeah, and then
Yeah, we have
6
we have a bunch
no
of
5
2-1s.
2-1s, 1-2, and 2 0-3s. 0-3 club. Let's go. Well, no, actually, I guess I have the bye. Woohoo! 3 victories. We count,
Yay.
we
Alright,
count those technically.
I want to again congratulate Bailite for joining
Yeah.
the event. For winning the event, congratulate and thanks everybody for joining. Again, exclamation point Discord gets you to the Discord where, by the way, Para, who's in booth right now, is one of the mods too. You can, that's gonna get you all of the help that you need in terms of, that's gonna get you to a place where people will help you put together a Highlander deck, play against your Canadian Highlander, and Canadian Highlander is awesome, so you should 100% do it. If you do not know how to sign up for this event, the Discord will have the information to do so. But also, you can type exclamation point next poll in chat, or if you're watching this on YouTube, there's going to be a link in the description. And that's going to get you to the poll, to the sign up poll for next week. We run every Sunday at 10 p.m. Pacific time, which is 1 p.m. Eastern time, or I believe 7 p.m. Central European. I want to thank everybody that joined the booth for helping me keep my sanity. I want to apologize for having technical difficulties again after saying that we were going to be done with them, but, you know, apparently... we have decided that the outlets in my wall are going very against me this week, but either way. With that, I'm gonna be signing off, and thanks our viewer for watching. I will see you all next week. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.